Let me tell you.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
I've never been married. Huh? Have you ever been married?
Really, Nana?
38 years old.
Really? Really? Really?
I've never been married. No children or nothing. You sure missed a lot of life.
Damn. Why do I have to get married and have kids just to have a good life?
You do have no good life.
I do.
You don't go nowhere.
I do. I just got back from a trip.
By yourself, no man. If you don't have a man, you ain't nothing.
Really? I'm not nothing without a man? Huh?
You're not a lesbian, are you?
Are you?
No, I had a husband, tell you that.
Well,
My boyfriend all the time.
I still have sex.
I know you do, but that's not right. That's dirty. Sleeping around like a slut.
Ah! It's one person. One person.
Sleeping around like a slut.
Your mama.
I didn't do it. I had a husband. How old are you?
Shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostle, Elder Great Millstone, teaching us his truth, going to apply one rule well. And Shalom, not a sincere argument throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity and in charity. And Shalom, to all you sincere followers, believers of Yahweh, Bahashem Shai, not heads of the word, but doers as well. You men, women, and children, all full elect, Shalom. And not quite sure on my Titus lesson, not quite sure where it's going. Don't even have a precept in mind. But what the older lady was saying to her, I believe it was her granddaughter, was the truth. All right, you women, all right, you ain't nothing without a man. All right, and this society has been built, for your comforts, to make you feel more at ease and to make you feel as if you don't need a man. All right, and she was going in how that her granddaughter haven't lived. She had, she doesn't have children. She's not married, and at the end of the day, what's most important is the roles that God's put down for us. The Lord told us to be. Let's get that. This is Genesis. I started. All right, I started Genesis 1:21, and Yahweh created the whales and every living creature. Are we not living creatures? Yes, we are. That moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly and after their kind, and every winged fowl and after his kind. And Yahweh said that it was good. And Yahweh blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowls of the air multiply, and the earth. Let's see here. Yeah. Here we go. This is Genesis 1:26. And Yahweh said, Let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowls of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yahweh created man in his own image, and in the image of Yahweh created he him, male and female created he them. And Yahweh blessed them, and Yahweh said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, excuse me, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish, the sea and over the fowls of the air, over every living thing that move upon the earth. So we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. And, you know, she believes her granddaughter was 38 years old. And that's you know, that's pretty old to be having children. She doesn't have any children. You know, she said, "Oh, I have a man," and she was like, "You know, you're a slut, because at the end of the day, you know, who was your husband before that?" All right. You know, sex is considered marriage according to the scriptures, man. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, this is Genesis 24:67. It says, 67. It says, and Isaac brought her, all right, and the her is talking about Rebecca, into his mother's tent, and took Rebecca, right? All right, when he took her, he put hands on her. All right, he lied down with her. You know, the comforts that come in the bed. You know, they had sex. And she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. There was no marriage certificates. You know, the so-called white man wasn't standing there saying, you know, by the power invested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Fuck no. All right. So when you lie down with a person, that person is, you know, you're married to that person. And that's why grandma was calling her a slut. Okay? And then, you know, the granddaughter was talking about how much, you know, she travels, she does that, this, that, and the third. Well, that's not the role the woman's supposed to be in, traveling. You know, these fucking girl trips and things of that nature. You're supposed to be up on the authority of your husband, and one husband at that. And your desires are to be to your man. See, this liberty has destroyed you women. We'll get that next. This is Genesis 3:16. It says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. It says, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. All right. For Eve going off, right, listening to the serpent and bringing it back to Adam, the Lord punished her. And this is one of the punishments of pain through childbirth. But the point I want out of this is the woman, all right, is supposed to be what? Her desire, the thing she wants, the thing that she craves, is supposed to be what her husband wants. And you tell a woman that nowadays, and she'll laugh you till her stomach starts hurting. That's why we gotta get out of here, man. This place ain't it. Another 1,000 years of this, another 10 years of this. I just put up a post yesterday where this woman, all right, one of the Latino tribes, had 3 different men on child support for the same child. For the same child. You trying to tell me that ain't wickedness? For the same child. Okay? Pure wickedness, man. You know. And grandma was teaching her the way. What's that? Titus 2. It says the aged women, 2 and 2. that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not giving much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. All right? To love their husbands, man. And in this society, all right, you know, women don't have to love their husbands, man. They're getting, you know, in a marriage, right? They start laying down with a man, and next thing you know, as soon as their feelings go with the wind, they're out of there. They're on to the next man. And that's just a repeated cycle. And these women are destroying themselves. Well, I don't like the way he did this or way he did that. What did the Lord say? Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Your desire to be towards your husband. Ain't about what you want, what you think. Now, if you were a righteous man, things are going to be good. It ain't going to always be perfect, but things are going to go better than it was with someone who doesn't have wisdom. But our women don't see it like that. Anyways, it says, verse 4, Titus 2 and 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. And the women nowadays, they don't love their children. All right? They be putting them to death, starving them out, leaving them at home to go on trips. Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home. The hell with a girl's trip. Keepers at home. That's where you women are going to are truly going to find happiness, when you're obeying the scriptures, man. You're looking for peace and all these prescription medicines, right? The comfort is here. It's here, man. Titus 2 and 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, obedient to their own husbands. Obedient to their own husbands. You know, I remember when I first came in the truth, and I was, you know, brothers be overzealous. You know, I was telling my woman about it, and you know, she went back and she was at work asking people about it, and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? She was asking people about what they think about this, that, and the third, and it's like, yo, don't do that. I told you don't be discussing this. But you live and you learn. But anyways, you got to be obedient. Do what your husband says, man. And you know that woman was taking it as a joke. She was laughing, but grandma was dead serious. You think that chick listens to her man? Now if she's taking girls trips, hell no. Because men don't want their women on no damn girls trip. Men know what go down. It says that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. And let's end it off. What was that going? Man, the whole chapter is good. Blessed, Sirach 26. Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be doubled. Yeah, man. You ever look at your grandparents? Who's the one that normally goes first? The man. I should tell you something about our grandmothers and our mothers. You know, not all of them, right? But where we at? Here, what I wanted. Where is it at? It might be in the 25th verse. Yeah, I think it's in the 25th. Yep. This is Sirach 25 and 25. It says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guide abroad. Because what they're going to do, they're going to have multiple husbands. Okay? They're going to have children by different men. They're going to destroy their mind, body, and soul. And by the time they realize it, it's going to be too late. Like Grandma said, you know, you should have a husband. You should have children. But the average modern day woman is not thinking like that. They're thinking about their careers. They're thinking about how they look in the eyes of people. All right? But all that is vain and vanity. When you understand your role as an Israelite woman, all right, you know, happiness begins in a sense. But if you out here and you refusing the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you're going to always be reaching. You're going to always be searching. You're going to always be out there lost, man. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.